back to the channel. Today I'm headed up to Fort Collins so I can have Hayden finally weld up the lower control arms for the Charger. So after I have him do that, I'm gonna come back, get everything Cerakoted so it's ready to install on the Charger, and I cannot wait. I'm gonna be coating it in E100 Blackout, which is what I've been coating everything else in. So I can't wait to finally have all this stuff welded up, and I can't wait to have it Cerakoted. If you guys are interested in Cerakote, there's gonna be a link in the description. Like I've said in previous videos, this stuff works very well, and I just kind of go to show how well it works in my videos. But let's head up to Fort Collins, get this stuff welded up, and then come back and finally get everything coated and ready to go. So just got up to Hayden's shop. We're gonna go inside and have him weld up the lower control arms. So Hayden just finished welding up the front lower control arms. They're finally finished. Are you happy they're finally done? You don't have to see them anymore?
Yeah, it will be nice.
See them actually on the car maybe?
Yeah, see you actually do something with them.
Yeah.
Go do some cool skids and stuff or something.
Maybe not skids, but some sweet launches.
Yeah, launches or whatever, some rowdy all-wheel drive burnouts.
I don't know if she'll be too happy doing like all-wheel drive donuts or anything like that.
I mean, you gotta try it at least
I might.
once.
I might. Big parking lots.
Yeah, big parking lots for that big boat.
Yeah, big 5,000-pound beast. But thanks, man. I'm gonna head back to Pueblo, throw these things, actually probably Cerakote them first, then throw them on.
Make them look all nice and fancy.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's exciting.
But
getting real close.
I've been looking for a Pantera. There's one right behind me. Ah! I need one of these. Need one. Just the shell though. Rip. Oh, they sound like garbage with the Ford engine in them, but man, they need a swap. That's exactly what I need. Pantera. Woo! Just got back from Fort Collins and I'm really happy. The front lower control arms 100% done, ready to go on the car after we Cerakote them. So one thing I'm really happy about is that I added this extra support to the ball joint mount. Hayden actually recommended that. I was thinking about doing it, but then I was like, I want to get the car done. I didn't want to add it, but then I had to modify the coilover pickup and then have him weld that anyway, and it was easy to add that extra bit of support. So big shout out to Hayden. He always helps me out with my projects, helping me weld stuff since I don't have a TIG. But he also has a YouTube channel. I'll put a link in the description. He does a bunch of cool stuff. I think he has a RX-7 FB or FA with the Turbo LS, and I think it runs like 8s or 7s. It's pretty quick. But big shout out to Hayden. Always helps me out. What I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to press that ball joint out with our functioning press over there. It's still not moved in the correct position, but it works. And then I'm gonna blast these in 100 grit aluminum oxide and do exactly what I've done to everything else on the suspension. And that is Cerakote it with E100 Blackout. I'll also put the link in the description for Cerakote. Like I've said previously, the stuff is great. It's a lot of stuff, you know, people say it's great. So I just finished blasting everything. We have the coilover tubes, which whatever BC coats these things in, it was very difficult to blast them, even with 100 grit aluminum oxide, which that stuff usually takes everything off really nice and quick. But I had to actually get the grinder out and grind the coating off and then blast it off. So we have both those done. We have all of these done, which I have an extra one just in case. And then we have the lower control arms in here, and the knuckles are still in the blasting cabinet. So let's clean this table right here up really quick, move some stuff around, get everything ready to start Cerakoting, mix up some E100, and then get everything nice and coated. It's probably gonna take me the rest of the day to do it. I've now finished curing, and I love how this E100 blackout Cerakote looks. It just looks so factory. It's just like a semi-gloss black, makes everything look super clean, and it's very durable. So now what I'm gonna do is something I probably shouldn't do because I don't really need to do it, but I've already blasted them. So these things don't look nice for very long because they're just bare aluminum from Dodge. So I'm gonna do the same thing. You'll just kind of conceal them, make them look really clean. E100 blackout on these. And then both of these will have to be in another batch since I only have 3 hooks in the oven. So what I probably need to end up doing is getting a better oven setup. I built this oven for powder coating and it has worked very, very well for a lot of things, but it's not large enough to do a whole batch of parts. So I want to do something with an oven and maybe put, like, make this whole area for Cerakoting, and then maybe have one of those spray booths that are also vented, so I could just sit there, it's nicely and well lit, and then I could just have something hanging, and it's very easy to see when you're Cerakoting all the way around it. You think it would be very easy to be able to see bare spots when you're Cerakoting, but even outside when it's light out, you still have to get like a flashlight and kind of look in the nooks and crannies to make sure you don't miss any parts. It's not like when you powder coat, if you miss something, you could pretty much just kind of, while it's still hot, give it a little hot coat. front suspension on the Charger is now all the way on. Everything's Cerakoted. Everything looks really nice and clean. The one thing I'm still waiting for is the headers. So all this stuff needs to come back off so I could drop everything down and put the headers on, do the steering shaft. But what I'm going to do is go home and design a caliper or a brake backing plate slash cooling plate. So from the factory on the Chargers and Challenger Hellcats and Scatbacks, they have a duct on the lower valence, and it has a little flap. The plastic just has like a little protrusion that sticks up and it shoots air up. On the suspension arm, they have a plate that you can bolt to it, and then it shoots air into the center of these vanes, which then the air goes in, and then it goes through the rotor, through the vanes, and goes out to cool the rotor. I don't have both Trackhawk backing plates, which is an issue, but on top of that, this is all a different setup than it would be on a Charger or Challenger Hellcat. So none of the suspension plates or any of that stuff is going to work to cool these rotors, which is going to end up being an issue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run home, design a new backing plate, and have Send cut it out. And what I'm going to do is either have a 3-inch oval tube coming up here or maybe down here, and then it'll connect to that duct on the lower valence with a flexible tube. And the flexible tube is just going to pretty much come from here up here, and then I'm going to 3D print, or 3D print like a mold and do like a carbon fiber piece so everything clears the wheel and tire of later on. But for now, this will be all set up for that tube, and I think it will work out really well. I'm really happy that all this stuff's together. It's all coated. I really like how these calipers look. I mean, they look super good. A lot of people say they don't like the color in contrast to the blue, but I really like it. So, and these Trackhawk calipers are a lot larger than Hellcat, Challenger, and Charger. So Hellcat, Challenger, and Charger, I believe, is like a 390 millimeter or 392 millimeter rotor. The Trackhawks and the Durango Hellcats have a 400 millimeter rotor, a larger front caliper, a bigger rear rotor, and a bigger rear caliper. So this thing is going to have some stopping power, a little bit more over a stock Charger or Challenger. I don't think it's going to weigh much more, and I can't wait to have all this stuff done. So once those headers come, we'll finally get this thing all buttoned up. Before that though, tomorrow I'm going to come down to the shop, get everything set up, get wheels on here, roller off the lift so I can do all of the shop lights in here so everything is nice and well lit, and we'll just kind of go from there. But I'm going to end the video here, and then in the next video we'll get everything designed for the backing plate, have Send cut it out, get all these shop lights done, and start. Hopefully by then we'll have the headers and have all that stuff ready to go. So if you like these videos, make sure to click that subscribe button, thumbs up, throw a comment below. As always, see you guys next time.